Hello everyone, and welcome to the first installment in this second season of Why Did I Lose? The Prismata series in which I look at viewer games and tell you why I think you lost. I announced this series on the channel yesterday, and the announcement video has gotten fewer views than I expected. I'm guessing because this is a different playlist and not my main Amaloy Plays Prismata list. Not sure what I could do to make it more visible. Anyway, I haven't actually gotten any responses yet on that YouTube video, but I was careful to pre-announce on Reddit, so I have gotten some game submissions. However, I was quite surprised. I'm getting submissions from different people than I did last year, which makes sense, of course. You would expect different people. It's been like almost a year. But the ones I got last season were from mostly from players struggling to reach Master Tier. There were one or two people who were as strong a player or stronger than me, but mostly it was not quite Master or low Master players. This year, the people who have commented on my Reddit post are Apooche, Punf, Mr. Guy, and Cooled Cannon. All of whom are at least my peers and probably stronger, right? Apooche spends a lot of time at number 1 on the leaderboard. So I'm feeling a little bit inadequate about these, but I'm going to take a look and see if I can find something one of them didn't. Apooche was the first to submit a replay, but we're actually going to look at Punf's first because I suspect that it's some sort of meme or other joke. I guess that just because it's Punf, but also someone in the Discord remarked that is the case. And I wondered if there indeed might just be an Odin and then Punf would resign turn 1. I forgot to predict this before opening the game, but that was my guess. I guessed there would be an Odin in the set and Punf would be player 2 and he would resign on turn 1. If there's any kind of meme that Punf would make about why did I lose this game, that's how I would expect it to go. Yep, there it is. Okay, great. Well, we got that game out of the way. Alright, so that's why I wanted to do Punf's game first. I suspected... I should have told you guys that before I loaded the replay. But you'll just have to take my word for it that I guessed it would be exactly that. Let's actually look at that a bit more. Was there anything else going on in that set besides Odin? I mean, there's Plexo, there's... It seems player 1 favored, but there's good stuff for green and there's some other things to do. Obviously, I think no set is an auto-resign set. But Punf just thinks it's hilarious. So, I don't know. My advice to you, Punf, would be to try to go a turn or two. And don't play so quickly, Actually, he resigned before any turns had started. That's kind of funny. He did it during the countdown. All right, well done. No one spent any time on this game. All right, so let's move on. I'm not sure if Mr. Guy's questions are at all memey, but given who Apooche is, I bet that his are real submissions. And also, he submitted first, so we'll look at Apooche's game. I think it's fair to say that Apooche is probably the strongest player who sent me any replays. Mr. Guy is also very strong and clearly stronger than me, and has been at number 1 on the leaderboard. But I feel like Apooche spends more time there. Oh, you know what? I forgot that what I usually do, what I did last season anyway, was before I watched the player's game, I played out a quick one against Masterbot and to give you my read of the set and show you what I think the game would look like. I didn't do that for Punf's game because I predicted there wouldn't be anything going on. It would be nice to do that for Apooche's, I guess, right? I just A, I don't want to spoil myself by looking at the replays, but also B, I don't want to do a bunch of work for something that's going to be a meme. I guess here we can see this was a real game, right? Okay, let's go look real quick at some of the upcoming submissions from other players and see if any of them are memes, and if so, we can get them out of the way. This looks like a real game. Hello? Prismata is not responding. Prismata has crashed. Okay, so I wonder if this is just some very old replay that like crashes the client, and that Mr. Guy sent me this for hilarity. I'm gonna go ahead and well, I guess I'll start Prismata back up. I'm gonna put this in replays, search. How do I don't know, show me. I'm looking on prismatastats.com. Why am I doing that? The replays aren't stored there. Play Prismata net r equals this. I want to see if like the official client loads it or what. Like, so we're gonna have 2 copies of Prismata open in a second. Let me mute this one while the one in my web browser loads. You guys won't even see it, but I just want to know, like, does the game fail to load or what? I guess I could try loading it again. Yeah, okay. So I think that this one is not a game we will get to. Fine. All right, so Mr. Guy's second submission is a joke, but his first one looked like a real game. Please let me close Prismata again. Okay, try again. Okay, we're back in game. You guys can see things. Great. So let's just check the last replay I have so far, which is Cooled Cannon's game. I assume it's a real game. Yeah, it is. Okay. By the way, you lost. You played too fast. That's what I think from looking at all that. But all right, we're going to look at the person who submitted first. We're going to look at Apooche's game. But we're going to do it by playing Masterbot. Play Masterbot, load from replay, this game. Who was first player? It was Apooche. So I will be first. So, what's the deal in this set? And by the way, as always in these like games where I'm analyzing rather than just playing against a human, you are welcome to take this opportunity, if you like, to pause the video and figure out how you would play the set. Maybe play it against Masterbot if you want. Okay, if you did that, welcome back. If not, let's move on. So this looks hard. There's like some pretty good absorbers in a way in like Defense Grid and Arca, but there's and Mahar, right? Blood Rager and Nevo are like kind of problems with that, and you know, Oxide Mixer and Militia kind of contribute to the problem as well. But on the other hand, like Drake really incentivizes getting a lot of blue because you can sell it back usefully. Like Arca's gonna be pretty great against the Defense Grid if you get it when your opponent can still Arca it productively, which pretty much is gonna happen. So I don't know, maybe you just don't get the grid and you just get like Arca and Ragers, but you want a Drake, right? And like the best attacker here is Sinestra, right? So it'd be really cool if you could get that. Sinestra also has green in it, so you can get Nevos to punish a player who's getting like who's trying for the big absorb stuff, and you can get your own Mahars for like moderate absorb. Although that's like a pretty big ask to be getting like 2 units that are each 11 GG, and then getting Sinestras, which are 12 GGR, on like an economy that's not large enough to want a defense grid. It's kind of tough, isn't it? You just need so much green to do that while you're getting Nevos. So it seems a bit tough, but it does seem like it would be nice to do. feel like this is the kind of set where I could lose to Masterbot, honestly. So I'm gonna have a tough time telling Apooche what he did wrong against whoever it was. PinkTeddy? I don't remember. I'm sure I got the name wrong and I just said something completely silly. But I thought it was something like that. Maybe you just don't bother with green. You go for like red, blue, and also don't go for grid. Just like Drake, Oxide, and Arca. Maybe Rager or something at some point. And then as the game is tailing off, maybe you get a militia or two. But probably not. I don't know. Maybe. So I'm going to try that. I have the feeling that it's not going to be very good. But everything in this set gives me that feeling, right? Anything I could do feels wrong. But I don't want to rely on Big Absorb for anything when Rager, Arca, and Nevo are here. Plus, like, I mean, Oxide and Militia are kind of problems for that. Drake, a little bit. Like, if I were relying... Like, opponent can threaten more damage than they apply, even with Drake, although Drake's not a great way to do that. So that doesn't deny Absorb so much as the other stuff here does, but it contributes a little bit. I just don't want to rely on Big Absorb, and so like I think getting some attackers and like Blood Rager's a good one, and you need red for Arca anyway. I kind of like that better than trying to econ up. But I could well lose to a player who gets more economy than that. I think a Forge first is fine. You could go with Animus first and just like start pouring out Tarsiers, I guess. Maybe that's better. But I feel like I want more economy than that. Like, it's going to be tough to get up to Drake if I'm spending like $8 already on Tarsiers. So I'll just get a Forge and like probably honestly build an Oxide mixer with it on the first turn, even though that kind of stinks. Oh, green would be so convenient, wouldn't it? Can I do that? I don't know. Next turn, I kind of want an Animus and 2 drones and like a wall or a splitter or something. So I guess I just float the $4. That seems fine. Well, just get a splitter now, right? Like, that's my absorber, and it forces... It makes opponent kind of want to get a wall. And then it'll act as my own wall while I get, like, mixers or something. Yeah, I like that better. Militia, of course, would exploit the enemy wall, but A, opponents shouldn't actually get a wall against Militia, and B, like, I kind of want something to absorb with anyway, and Militia can't serve that role. Ooh, wrecked fire already. So I predict next turn we'll get like a wall and some Tarsiers, and then after that we can Rager and already be in about Arca Town. Jeez, that's a lot of attack you got there, Masterbot. Yikes. Am I gonna have trouble building my Rager? I don't think so. But maybe. I don't know, he can only add 2 more attack, right? So he'll have 8. With these 2 NGs, I think that's enough. And he can't even do that much. Okay, good. This kind of stinks though, doesn't it? Ugh, having to build this rhino just... I wish I had some green? And it's going to be tough to get my second blue, which I really need for the Arca soon. Like, it would be nice to have it now, but I don't, so... Okay. We can get the Arca coming up next turn, which will be nice, and pretty sure we just blow all of these, right? I mean, 7 is losing wall force field, this is wall wall, wall wall NG. And so I guess these last 3 are just killing a wall, so I should leave them alone. Sure. Good militia exploit, by the way, from Masterbot here. I mean, really, I'm exploiting myself by the way I defended, but he's gonna take it, of course. So I think we've successfully navigated the opening. Masterbot is not putting up as much of a fight as a player would be, and as a result, we're going to stomp him. You know, what can you do? But I thought this would be at least interesting as like something that seems like it could be a kind of plausible opening, even though I don't think you should get away with as much as I've done here against a... Yeah, a human would definitely like hold rectifier and all the militias, you know. Masterbot's like, oh, I can kill an engineer. It's worth clicking 2 rectifiers and paying $3 to kill that engineer. So that's one of the ways in which Masterbot is really like not a strong player. Just keeping, I don't know, 2 NGs in a force field. Yeah, it's might as well just click everything. Who cares, right? And let's get rid of all this excess blue now, while also applying a bunch of extra pressure, of course. Oh, I should have clicked my Arca. God, I was like, he just went so long without having red. I didn't really pay attention to what he did. But okay, fine. Well, maybe we're not crushing him as much as I thought. I do still feel in good shape, but... And I think I do still also want to click this, just to apply a little extra pressure. I shouldn't need multiple walls anytime soon. I don't know, I guess Masterbot usually swings with his Arca, so that could be a problem, but... It could cause me to need extra walls, I mean. But so far it doesn't seem to be. And I can just sort of churn out Tarsiers for a while at least. Interesting that he chose to hold Rhino instead of click Militia. I think he was right, but I wouldn't have guessed he would do it that way. Ah. And now we're through. Yeah, so, okay, this game's over. He'll resign in a moment. Cool. So let's go look now at how the actual game played out. So far, a mirror. I'm going red first. Okay, Rager's good, why not? Second green already, huh? Oh, I was right, by the way, it was PinkTeddy. Alright. Second green, suggesting, like, Mahars. Maybe some weird, like... You can't really be breach-proof, so no. It's just, I don't know. This doesn't seem like a very good Mahar opening to me, but... maybe the red player will just be under a lot of pressure from Mahars and Nevos? I don't know. Maybe you try to transition into Sinestras, but I don't think you need that much green right away, if that's your plan. Sure, seems pretty normal. Rhino here is great, because it, like, threatens to absorb this and also threatens to Rager it. Opponent clicks to deny our Rager. Sure. So these Nevos are... Yeah, so it is like kind of breach-proof Mahars, basically. Like... Yeah, in response to your attack, I just won't defend, sure. Wait, but now Tarsiers? What? Okay, Rager against this seems like top-notch. Must do. And then we have this Arca coming up. Seems good, question mark? Alright, is opponent going to be able to deny the Arca? He's trying very hard. Wow. So we just don't get the Arca, we build some walls. Opponent's threatening 8 plus 9 is about 17. Very difficult to defend the Rager, huh? This way they're threatening 8 plus 10. Or else 4 plus, you know, kill the Arca, basically, so we would have to hold 4 drones to keep the Arca alive, and more to keep the Rager and Tarsiers alive. Yeah, I think you hold everything you can to keep these guys alive, and then hope that the Arca Absorb will get you there, or that you can breach for some rectifiers, but these Nevos are gonna... Opponent can double Nevo regularly to deny you Arca Absorb, which is what you really want Arca for. And then, like... Wow. We're just, not really getting anywhere, huh? All opponent has to do is, like, double Nevo every turn, but... There's only a limited supply of those, right? What a weird one. This Animus, by the way, is just bizarre. Like, I don't know. I would have maybe preferred to just invest that in, like, Gauss cannons, but I guess green was kind of an issue too. What was the total investment to get these Tarsiers up? Like 6, 10, 14 bucks build time 3. And that's the only red thing we've gotten, I think. Did we ever get any rhinos? No. 14 bucks, build time 3 for 2 damage. That's pretty close to a conduit plus 2 Gauss cannons. You could get one of the Gauss cannons earlier, but it would cost a bit more to get the second one. On the other hand, you'd have a conduit left over, and like green has been pretty good this game, right? So I think I would have preferred a third conduit and then like Gauss cannons instead of these 2 Tarsiers. Instead of this Animus into 2 Tarsiers. Maybe opponent had hopes of getting a Rager. Like, they've put that on the table a couple times. Well, okay, actually getting the Ragers now. Although, really? Why? Wait, was the first one good? I don't like the second one at all. The first one's not that great either. Like, your opponent's under so much pressure, shouldn't you just kill his wall? Wait, no, this is the second one still. Where's the first one? First one's fine. Wait, no it's not. The Arca's frozen. This Rager was killing a wall, right? Get out of here, Windows. And then the second one also kills a wall. And that just seems bad to me. Like, we should be threatening real damage. Try to kill the Arca. On the other hand, I guess, like, we're basically not in any danger of taking damage because opponent can't click the Arca and they only have 4 non-Arca damage. So this Rectifier means we can just do whatever we want. And in that case, why not get a Rager, I guess. And this is clearly curtains for Apooche here, right? Honestly, I don't think you should Nevo if you're doing this, because opponent, like, won't hold the Arca anyway. Well, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, actually that chill let you kill the Arca. You freeze the drones to kill the Arca. Very cute. Alright, so... Breach-proof Mahars. I mean, when I saw the second conduit, I said, is this breach-proof Mahars? And I thought that was total nonsense, so... Then it won. Like, what happened? I guess, like, the first thing to look at is, like, here's the branching point where Apooche did something different than I did, right? Let's suppose that he were gonna try what I did. I presume opponent still does the same thing here? But, like, basically, I think I just went for a few more drones than Apooche did. I assume they're getting a Rectifier here because it still seems good. I don't know, maybe opponent would branch out when we're not, like, depending on Tarsiers and Rager, maybe they would do something different. The Rectifier is not as good when it fails to absorb 1 and then, like... Because, like, if you build the Rectifier against 2 Tarsiers, it's going to get to absorb their damage when it arrives. On the other hand, that didn't happen in the game, right? The Rectifier just clicked. But against a Splitter, it's kind of getting, like, mediocre value either way. But, like, I don't know, I guess you buy it. It's a good investment of money. Opponent will actually probably hold the Splitter. This click... I don't know, it could be okay. It means you have to build a wall instead of an Oxide or something. But it seems alright. So this is kind of assuming opponent won't really change his line at all, but... And I don't really have any reason to suppose that that's true, but I kind of had this idea of, like, a little more econ, getting out the blue stuff first, even though, like, what you really want is some Tarsiers. It's not a big issue to get out, like a Steel Splitter first to poke the opponent, or a Militia if you prefer. That's right, Militia costs 6 in this replay. Yes, of course. I thought I had looked and saw that it said 3 earlier, and I concluded that it was post the change, but apparently not, it's before the change. Anyway, I think it's kind of interesting to get out the blue first because it lets you econ a bit more, and Oxide Mixer is a way to, like, build something productive out of your blue after you get, like, the wall that you wanted and maybe a Splitter, while you still econ up and get red. So, opponent, I presume, clicks here. They'd rather kill 2 NGs than save 1, so sure. And, like, get more? Now, I think they keep clicking because we're threatening an amazing Rager if they hold one back. Sure. I don't know. More Mahars? Doesn't seem great. Ugh. These rhinos are so sad. But I think we will need soak pretty soon, and getting damage in is pretty nice. This kills an NG, which is as good as it's ever going to be. Now, we don't really threaten much of a Rager. We could try to double Rager here by like clicking one Rhino. It seems highly optimistic, especially if opponent throws in like even a single Nevo charge. Oh, well, they shouldn't allow this. I guess this is still good, but now we might actually be able to try a double Rager here, right? Opponent's not really attacking that much. I don't know, let's see what it looks like. Pretty sad, huh? Especially given that I like built this Rhino to attack, and I guess it's gambiting right now against a click, just like it did last turn. Or, yeah. I built it last turn, and if they'd clicked everything, I would have lost it, but they didn't. And now, again, if they click everything, I'll lose it. Okay, sure. Well, I mean, this is a lot of stuff opponent just got. Seems kind of cool. And I didn't set up the Arca that I needed. So clearly I've made some mistake in Apooche's play. Yeah, this double Rager was the wrong idea. I should have tried to somehow set up a second blue here. I mean, you can do it on this turn. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not great because you're blowing 2 pixies on it, but it gets you the Arca. And so they have to click everything, really. And these are cool, but they don't seem to be doing enough, right? I actually, like, against this, I think we don't get the Arca. We just breach for the Redeemers, so I guess opponent does this. Eh. I think they can afford to gambit for exact breach of 1 Redeemer. I'd have to absorb onto Rhino, and then swing with everything, including the Rhino and the Splitter and the Pixies, and not get Arca. Which seems rather difficult for me with 2 Nevos incoming, so I think this gambit is permissible. Maybe you could even gambit both, I don't know. But let's just gambit 1. And I mean, like, can I really do this? It's not looking so hot, right? These don't really defend anything. Opponent, like, freezes both walls, breaches for 3 Tarsiers, and I'm toast. So, 2 Tarsiers. Still pretty bad. 2 Tarsiers and the Rhino. Yeah, I would be way behind in that situation. So I don't think I can accept this gambit. So I have to instead, like, I don't know, do I take the Arca? It's pretty terrible. Opponent has 8 plus 7 is 15. Defended. Got the Arca. I don't know. get another NG. Why not? And it's just brutal. I'm in like a worse spot than Apooche was, I think. I don't know. I have a lot more drones. So they have 8 plus 7 freeze. That's 15. So like this defends. Huh? Lets me get a Tarsier out there. And of course they're still not breaching the Arca. So they do this. Oh, what a sick exploit though, huh? But good news though, like, opponent has to add some more damage. Because even if they're freezing Arca, I have enough to build double wall every turn for a while, and that's all they're killing. Unless they can swing with this, which seems a little tough. I'm not attacking for that much myself. I'm only attacking for like 5 or 6, but I'm adding an attacker. And opponent really is kind of committed to building double Nevo every turn, which means it's rather hard for them to do a lot, isn't it? On the other hand, like, I'm just killing 1 NG, 2 NGs? I don't know. So I actually have to hold a drone here. Maybe it's not the case that I'm, like, just coasting on double wall, because opponent's adding more attack than I am. As well as absorbing more than I am. It would have been nice, of course, at some point to get a Rager. When I got this Tarsier, could it have been a Rager? I only had $4, right? So I think no. But now, 9, like, I'm actually defended this way, right? 9 and 7 is 16. 7, if they don't click that, is just losing wall still. And if they freeze the walls somehow, Arca's still, of course, defended. But we're not really killing much, huh? On the other hand, opponent's almost out of Nevos, and soon I'll be absorbing for more. And they don't really have the econ to get more Nevos. In fact, this 4th conduit was probably a mistake, because there's just not enough... I don't know. Force fields are going to be alright, probably, pretty soon. Plus 7 is 17. This is defended. And now finally Arca can absorb. It's still not at all clear to me that we're winning this. I was like, force field, wall, I can't build any of those things. Ugh. But the good news is they're not killing as much per turn anymore. It would be really nice to get, like, to spend my blue on something. Or to get a conduit so I can get force fields, but I think I need to not do that. And it seems like we've sort of weathered the storm a little bit here. Yeah, the 4th conduit was not so good. So I've clearly made some misplays for the opponent. And I think a stronger player on the opposing side would defeat the line that I've made. And it's not clear, in fact. Maybe I have still lost. But, you know, life is pretty tough for the opponent all of a sudden. It's a good thing they have all these force fields, I guess. Maybe I'm not killing them anytime soon. Let's just hold the splitter. Rather than losing 2 income, I'd rather honestly lose a little attack. Oh, they didn't need all those force fields. Hang on. You can cut one. I'm losing at least 2 attack, presumably not clicking the Arca as well. Well, there go all the rhinos. And I think opponent's still gonna win this one. They're just like more breach proof. And they have a limitless supply of green. And my absorb is not all that much higher, to be honest. Again, they built too many force fields. Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a losing position for me. So my approach of like taking more, going blue first, I don't know. I still kind of like it. It didn't win, but like I had enough econ and enough defense that I wasn't like totally crumbling trying to get out a Rager, right? I didn't get a Rager, but you know, by the time I was able to threaten Arca, man, really animus. By the time I was able to threaten Arca, I wasn't like completely crumbling in terms of defense. I had enough economy and enough defense from having that blue for a bit longer that I could defend for a while. But I think just like, I don't know, somehow Nevo is, I mean, I talked about how I was scared that any big econ thing, a big absorber thing would have trouble from Nevos. And I think that like really, Nevos were the decider here. If opponent didn't have Nevos, then I think getting that Arca would have just been too much. Arca plus efficient attackers from red should beat the like kind of chunky green stuff. I don't know. Opponent was able to gambit pretty freely, which was cool. To get at some attackers pretty aggressively. I don't know, man. Like, when I see these 3 Redeemers and not a lot of drones, like on this turn, I'm like, yeah, the green guy, he knows what's going on, right? Like, this Nevo's gonna make everything hard for the red-blue player, and you don't have to defend much. Like, that's the life, right? But then, like, I see this Animus, and I'm just like, how can this guy ever win? Why would you waste $6 on this? And he was still in a pretty commanding position. Somehow. I would have preferred to play the position differently, like I said, get a 3rd conduit instead. But I guess, like, I don't know. Like I said, I also don't like these Ragers. I think when your opponent is under so much pressure that they're losing, like, 2 walls per turn. And, well, okay, here they're only losing 1 wall per turn, right? But like building a Rager that gives your opponent back a wall when they're on 6 drones. Right, if we had instead attacked for 6. Oh, it's even worse than that. Wait, what? So Apooche chose to lose Rhino to save drone so that he could get this Rager. If we had attacked for 3 more, that, like, I guess would have been just as available. But the Rager would be in an even more dangerous place. You'd be down a wall, and this, like, would not defend anymore, right? Well, you'd be down a wall, but opponent would be down to attack. I just realized, unrelatedly, I like clipped a pen to the collar of my shirt, just like, I don't know, for no reason. I was fiddling around doing stuff with my hands, and it's been there for like my whole drive home. Like part of the time I was at work, I'm sure. I just like was this weirdo with a pen clipped to the collar of my shirt for no reason. Okay, well, there goes that. I don't know. I don't like these Ragers. Apooche's Rager seems okay, but you have to do something to try to win. And it was getting reasonable value against the Rectifier, right? Basically full absorb denial. Why swing here? You're not getting Nevoed for a change. You can actually absorb, I think. Like, opponent can't really deny you that. But I guess the point is you have to attack for enough to start killing things soon. Yeah, but then you just lose that, so it doesn't really work. What if we just go back and don't swing here? Right, we're now defended. Not like having an easy time of it, mind, but defended. Tarsier is probably too slow. I mean, like, anything but NGs just feels too greedy to me, to be honest. I guess the point is all we're killing is an enemy force field, and they're killing 2 walls. So, like, when you put it that way, it seems sort of clear we have to try attacking at least. Oh, hang on, opponent has red. I don't have to build this stupid Gauss cannon. They can get like a Rhino, which is cheaper and better. And in fact, maybe cut the force field, since this Rhino then gambits pretty well. More Rhinos? Oh my gosh, I take back everything I said about how bad these this Animus was. Yeah. And this is going to be lights out. Alright, so clicking the arc on that turn didn't really hurt. Yeah, I think this is just like... who knew, like, that this green stuff is so good? Like, what could you do against all this? None of the pressure plays seem that great, like, because they're Mahars. It's quite difficult to breach them, and even if you breach, you like spend a bunch of effort to breach and kill one, they're like, whatever, I have some more. So if you're gonna outdo it, it has to be on value, but I don't think a defense grid would do it. If an Arca doesn't, right? Like... I don't know, I guess you just gotta, like... If you can't beat them, join them, right? It has to be a green mirror where, like, the Nevos won't be that good, and both players are just sort of, like, maybe defending for a little while. I don't know, this whole opening still seems, like, basically unsound to me. I don't get it. Why was this good? I mean, I guess it's because Mahars are like threat, right? If you're just gonna not defend and build green stuff, that makes red uncomfortable. Just build attackers, don't defend, and then fall back on Nevos. Man, that's weird. I agree. I'm glad Apooche said for this game, even though I don't know why he lost it. My answer is like, well, you know, your opponent did better stuff than you. Just like try not to do that this next time, right? I wouldn't have pegged Mahars and Nevos as the winning strategy in this game. It's like opponent didn't. I don't know. I guess eventually bought one other unit in the advanced set, but mostly it was just these two, right? And I don't think the Blood Ragers were at all mandatory. You could have added any tech you wanted, red, green, or blue, and then built some attackers in that color, and you would have been fine. So really just like these two, huh? I don't know, guys. It's weird. It's real weird. If anyone else has any ideas, feel free to write them in the comments below. I think we're done with this analysis, though. With my kind of paltry summary of what might have gone wrong. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.